Welcome to In Case You Missed It, the show where I fill you in on everything that happened yesterday in the sports world. I am your host, Michael Cake, and let's get right into the action. After blowing a 4-1 lead in the third, Vegas Golden Knights forward Mike Almeida scored 30 minutes and 40 seconds into double overtime to defeat the Winnipeg Jets 5-4 to take a 2-1 series lead. Jack Eichel led the way for the Golden Knights, potting 2 goals and adding an assist in the win. Alex Pietrangelo added 2 assists in this one, as the former Stanley Cup champion winner with the St. Louis Blues has 4 assists in 3 games in this series. Neil Pionk was spectacular for the Jets as he assisted on all 3 goals in the third. Josh Morrissey went down with a lower body injury in this one, as he will miss the rest of the series. The injury is a big blow to the Jets, as the rear guard is a Norris candidate this season with 16 goals and 76 assists in 78 games this season. The series will continue on Monday at Canada Life Centre in Winnipeg. Morgan Rielly scored with 44 seconds left in overtime to secure the Toronto Maple Leafs the 4-3 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning to take a 2-1 series lead. Game looked bleak for the Leafs as they trailed 3-2 with a minute and a half to go. The trade deadline acquisition Ryan O'Reilly did what he was brought in to do for the Leafs, and he scored the clutch goal to tie the game up. Ilya Samsonov was the story in this one as he stopped 36 shots and showed in overtime he could stand on his head when he needs to. Brandon Hagel led the way for the Lightning with a goal and an assist, as Vasilevsky did not look like himself once again as he allowed 4 goals on 27 shots. This game was a rough one as the two teams combined for 123 hits and 36 penalty minutes. The Leafs will look to take a 3-1 series lead as Game 4 goes on Monday. The New Jersey Devils avoid going down 3-0 as Dougie Hamilton scores the OT winner to defeat the New York Rangers 2-1. The main story in this one was Akira Schmid, who started Game 3 after multiple rough starts for Vita Vanacek. The Czech goalie stood on his head throughout this one, making 35 saves as he relished his opportunity to win his first playoff start. Jesper Bratt assisted on both Devils' goals, and Jack Hughes scored the first goal for the young squad in the win. Chris Kreider scored once again for the Rangers as the winger has 5 goals already in these playoffs. Igor Shesterkin played another strong game for the Rangers as he had 26 saves on 28 shots. The series will continue on Monday as the Devils will look to even up the series before going back to New Jersey. The Colorado Avalanche offense explodes to help defeat the Seattle Kraken 6-4 to take a 2-1 series lead. Nathan MacKinnon scored 2 goals and Rantanen added 3 points for the Avalanche in the win. The Seattle Kraken played on home ice in the playoffs for the first time in franchise history in the loss. Jaden Schwartz scored 2 goals in the loss as the Kraken put up another good fight against the Stanley Cup champions. Cale Makar looked more like himself in this game as he scored a goal and added an assist for the Avs. Matty Bernier scored his first career goal and point for the Kraken as the Colorado favorite ignited the crowd. Philip Grubauer struggled in this one, allowing 5 goals on 28 shots in the loss, raising the question if the Kraken should turn to Martin Jones in Game 4. Kraken will look to bounce back as Game 4 is on Monday. Looking forward to tonight, Ilya Sorokin and the New York Islanders will look to knot up their series against Sebastian Aho and the Carolina Hurricanes at home. Taylor Hall and the Boston Bruins look to take a 3-1 series lead back to Boston against Matthew Tkachuk and the Florida Panthers. Jason Robertson and the Dallas Stars will look to bounce back after a 5-1 loss to Ryan Hartman and the Minnesota Wild at Xcel Energy Arena. And Leon Draisaitl and the Edmonton Oilers will look to avoid going down 3-1 against Adrian Kempe and the Los Angeles Kings. Moving on to the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers complete the sweep of the Brooklyn Nets in a 96-88 victory. James Harden led the way for the Sixers with 17, 8, and 11 as Joel Embiid sat this one out with a sprained right knee. Tobias Harris added 25 and 12 for the Sixers. The Sixers destroyed the Nets on the board, winning the battle 54-38, leading to 25 second chance points for the winning side. Spencer Dinwiddie scored 20 and Nick Claxton had 19 and 12 for the Nets in the loss. The loss ended the season for the team that traded Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving this past trade deadline. If you want to hear more about the Brooklyn Nets might do this offseason, check out Noah's video from yesterday. The 76ers will now move on to play the winner of the Boston Celtics versus Atlanta Hawks that currently sees the Celtics leading 2-1. Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns defeated the LA Clippers to take a commanding 3-1 lead. The Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and this one is both were out with injury. Kevin Durant scored 31 and Devin Booker added 30 for the Suns in the win. Russell Westbrook continued to play well for the Clippers, scoring 37, marking the third consecutive game where he had at least 25 points. Suns were able to get to the line way more than the Clips in this one, scoring 27 free throws to the opponent's 10. Chris Paul scored 19 and DeAndre Ayton added 15 and 13 for the Suns. The Suns will look to end the series as Game 5 shifts to Footprint Center in Phoenix. Miami Heat defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 121-99 to take a 2-1 series lead. Jimmy Butler scored 30 points while Duncan Robinson added 20 off the bench, hitting 5 threes in the process. The Milwaukee Bucks were without Giannis Antetokounmpo for a third consecutive game with back issues. Victor Oladipo went down with a knee injury in the fourth as the Miami Heat fear very bad news. Chris Middleton scored 23 for the Bucks. Bench scoring was one of the keys in this one as the Heat scored 59 points off the bench while the Bucks scored 28. The Miami Heat are also missing a key player as Tyler Hero is sidelined with a hand injury and will miss the rest of the season. These two teams will resume their series on Monday in Miami. Los Angeles Lakers use a dominant first half to defeat the Memphis Grizzlies to take a 2-1 series lead. The Lakers began the game on a 35-9 run in the first quarter and never looked back for the 111-101 win. Ron James scored 25 and Anthony Davis added 31 in the win. The game saw the return of Ja Morant, who returned after a Game 2 absence with a hand injury. Morant scored 22 consecutive points in the fourth and finished the game with 45 for the Grizzlies. Dillon Brooks was ejected from the game after hitting LeBron James in the nuts 19 minutes into the game. The altercation came after Brooks called the superstar old and has been constantly chirping him the whole series. The Grizz will look to bounce back in a big way as the series stays at Crypto.com Arena on Monday. Looking ahead to tonight's slate of games, Darius Garland and the Cleveland Cavaliers will look to bounce back against Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks after a disappointing loss at Madison Square Garden. De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings will look to go up 3-1 against Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics look to take a 3-1 series lead against Dejounte Murray and the Atlanta Hawks, and Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves look to avoid getting swept by Jamal Murray and the Denver Nuggets. There was a 16-game slate in the MLB last night. Let's go through them. New York Yankees walk off the Toronto Blue Jays 3-2 after Cole and Manoah duel at Yankee Stadium. C.J. Abrams hits his first home run of the season as the Washington Nationals beat the Minnesota Twins 10-4. James Outman hits 2 home runs again as the LA Dodgers defeat the Chicago Cubs 9-4 at Wrigley Field. Nick Castellanos hits 2 home runs as the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Colorado Rockies 4-3. De La Cruz homers as the Miami Marlins take Game 1 of the doubleheader 6-1. The Marlins also won Game 2 3-2. Crawford hits a 3-run shot to lead the San Francisco Giants to a 7-4 win over the New York Mets. Arozarena walks off the Chicago White Sox and has 4 ribbies as the Tampa Bay Rays win 4-3. Pittsburgh Pirates hold on to a 2-1 victory over the Cincinnati Reds to win their 6th straight game. The Reyes hits a 3-run double as the Baltimore Orioles defeat the Detroit Tigers 5-1. Adolis Garcia hits 3 home runs, has 8 ribbies as the Texas Rangers dominate the Oakland Athletics 18-3. Rowdy Tellez hits his 7th homer of the season as the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Boston Red Sox 5-4. Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker hit homers as the Houston Astros defeat the Atlanta Braves 6-3. Fernando Tatis homers in his 2nd game since his return as the San Diego Padres defeat the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-3. Kansas City scores 5 in the top of the 9th to defeat the Los Angeles Angels 11-8. Seattle hits 2 homers as the team defeats the St. Louis Cardinals 5-4. That is all for yesterday's action. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.